Hello there, men, and welcome to the Masculinism Movement channel, a place for men to be men and talk about masculinity and men's issues. I'm your host, Brian Crawl, and today I'm going to be mansplaining to you about the black pill. After taking the red pill, where do you go from there? Well, if you continue to venture down the rabbit hole to the deepest depths of it, you will eventually encounter another pill, a black pill. The black pill will reveal the dark truths that you have yet to see that underlie everything. The black pill represents the yin side of the universe. The black pill represents the revelation of the negative side of things, of evil, what we call dark truths that people generally do not talk about or often even know about, and what Carl Jung calls the shadow side of yourself. The black pill philosophy and darkness in general are two things that are central to my worldview. So I want to talk about the idea of the black pill philosophy. And I want to have this discussion not as you have heard it so many times before, where many black pillars simply are just pointing out everything that is shitty about, the modern social world or dating world or, things that they don't like. But I'm going to be approaching this more as a philosophy and a way of thinking and a set of core values. The black pill should not be seen as just an attitude towards women and dating and sex and relationships, just as the red pill in the Matrix isn't about these things. If you're a subscriber, you've already heard and will continue to hear my black pill ideas about dating and women and such, but in this video, I want to focus on just the core values and tenets of the black pill philosophy that exist independently of women. For you see, I've always had the black pill in me, ever since I was about 13 years old, and some of the defining metal, alternative, and goth musical artists were big on the scene, spouting their incredibly black-pilled philosophical lyrics. Bands like Slayer, Guns N' Roses, Metallica, Megadeth, Pantera, Nine Inch Nails, Marilyn Manson, Nirvana, Tool, Radiohead, Meshuggah, and such. Any of you out there who are alive then will remember these bands of the 90s and their sort of dark themes and lyrical ideas that they were putting out into the universe before it was even called the black pill. I also tried reading a lot of philosophy books back then that would qualify as black pill as well, like Nietzsche and Crowley and LaVey. So the black pill was planted in my mind early on in life, and it would remain there no matter how I was relating to women. To me, it's not just a perspective on women and sex or relationships. It's a perspective in life and existence in general. The black pill is not just intellectual, however, it is also emotional, since often black pill information and revelations come with depression or anger, or what we could call black pill rage, at the realization of these inconvenient truths. And if you thought red pills made you sad and angry, just wait until you see how much the black pills do. The black pill carries with it many negative feelings that we must accept, at least at times, for this is part of the shadow side. You can't expect to feel good all the time in such a fucked up world, now can you? However, black pill writers such as Sartre and Camus also point out how the chaos of this crazy world is also quite absurd and ridiculous. And thus, though dark, it is also kind of like a comedy, and dark comedies can be quite laughable. So it's okay to see the irony in existence and laugh at it, because we're all going to die alone in terrible pain and suffering and realize that we've wasted our lives eventually. So you might as well laugh about it now while you can. Don't want to? Too depressed? Well, that's certainly understandable. We black pillars can tend to be like that. We can tend to err on the serious or the melancholic or even the angry side. I myself am a very angry person. I've just quite simply had it with all the bullshit that I've had to put up with in this world. But I also like to laugh and have fun because what the hell, right? The way I figure, you might as well try to get a laugh out of life here and there, right? The black pill can be thought of at best as existentialism, like Nietzsche, and genetic determinism and social Darwinism when it comes to social and dating life, but it gets much deeper and darker than that. Black pill philosophy can be atheistic, or they could be worshippers of dark gods like Shiva, the god of death and destruction, or perhaps just enjoy the use of dark spiritual symbology. Or, on the other hand, can be iconoclastic and blasphemous and wish to destroy all gods and religions. and you'll hear sacrilegious rhetoric at times, like how Nietzsche wrote books like The Antichrist and LaVey started the Church of Satan, purely a rejection of modern Christianity, like modern atheism is as well. And politically, black pillars can tend to be anarchistic or disestablishmentarian in that we believe that the governments and institutions of modern society have failed and should probably be completely reformed, if not abolished. Black pill ideation can tend to be extremist at times when it comes to political ideals, but it can also be quite moderate or conservative or progressive, or they often don't care about politics and are either a libertarian or just apolitical. There are plenty of ways that the black pill can go for politics, but I think that black pillars will most often be the ones simply saying how the current political system doesn't work and should be overturned and completely changed. Or they may be so against it that they believe the best way to protest is to leave it altogether. So basically, black pill philosophy, being about negativity and darkness, is a lot like cynicism. And you could say that cynicism is one of the greatest core tenets of it. And probably not in the manner of the ancient Greek cynics as I would like, but I think that black pill people today tend to just philosophize by trying to look at things in the most negative and cynical way possible, which they do for any variety of reasons, such as because they probably feel that it is best to just be honest about how bad things are, or that it is better to prepare for the worst, or it can often be that they just can't help it, and they have this compulsive need to be negative. That once you've realized the dark truths about things and that things aren't as great as you thought and that it's all just quite shit, it's like a veil has been lifted and you start seeing more and more darkness and negativity until that's all that you see and it's all that you're even capable of thinking of and talking about. Are you sure to take your daily dose of red pills consistently so that you can stay out of the matrix? The red pill is a medicine that only works if you take it in the right dosage and never miss a dose. One missed dose of red pills can mean turning back into a blue-pilled limp dick simp under the sharp heel of the evil feminist matriarchy. So make sure you are subscribed and that your subscription is set to all so that you never have to miss one of your daily doses of the red pill, because I'm releasing hot new red pill content every single fucking day just to make sure you don't have to. So make sure you will actually get notified when they are released, because you know that YouTube doesn't want to show you things that don't align with its liberal leftist feminazi agenda, and it shadow bans content creators like me who use free speech to speak out against these politics and stand up for the rights of the oppressed masses of men like you and me. And if you want to help me keep fighting the good fight, please donate using the PayPal link below so that I can keep this work alive, because I simply cannot do it without the support of viewers like you. And be sure to spread these messages and share these videos with any other men you know who could use a nice big dose of red pills. But one way or another, black pillars see things as being black. It is a cynical, negative, dark world view. So don't bother talking to them about the future, as they won't have anything optimistic to say about it and will surely tell you some version of how civilization is collapsing, or there is some sort of apocalypse going on or on the horizon and we are all doomed. As is most certainly the case, and we very well should be, because I don't know if you've noticed this, but people really are just the worst. So black pillars are, of course, going to be doomers because they are misanthropic, which means we hate people. And they really want the world to end and for mankind to just basically go away. And this is because the black pill is ultimately nihilistic. In fact, I've always viewed the black pill as nihilism and as basically just a new and more popular term for nihilism. And if you're not familiar with this term, it means that someone doesn't believe that there is any inherent meaning or purpose to life other than that which we assign it, that the universe is not spiritually perfect, but chaotic and quite absurd, and perhaps just a great big empty void of abysmal nothingness and infinite oblivion. And thus, the only logical conclusion is that everything is completely and utterly pointless. And fucked, too. which, while it may sound dark and depressing, actually doesn't have to be such a bad thing, because it can be very liberating as well. For that line of thinking can actually help you to feel more free to do anything that you want with your life. But unfortunately, most black pillars don't see it that way, and instead fall into feelings of hopelessness and despair. For the black pill thinker is a macabre man with a tendency towards morbidity and meditation upon his own mortality and death, often contemplating suicide. For if there is no purpose or point to life, which is full of pain and suffering, and is often dull and boring at best, and torturous at worst, then why even go through with it? So I would say that anyone who commits suicide, or tries to, was probably a black pill thinker. And they can do this because the black pill, or nihilism, is the belief that nothing is actually real, that everything is a lie, that it is like we were living in a matrix or simulation, which explains why we are surrounded by people who seem like NPCs with no identity, because no one is really a real person here. And some of us hate it here and want to get the fuck out, and feel that the only way to get out is to leave our body by destroying it. Others of us, such as myself, choose to just use psychedelics to try to get our consciousness to transcend this baser reality. But if you are a black pillar, this will often just cause you to get your mind sucked into a black hole for several hours, or sometimes the whole day. Especially if you're using something like mushrooms or ayahuasca. And because of the need to escape this sense of false reality, black pillars are prone to excessive partying, reckless abandon, destructive behaviors, drug addiction, and downward spirals and such. Think of some of the lives of those musicians I mentioned at the beginning if you want an example. This is what I call a black pill overdose. Because nothing is real or has any meaning and nothing really matters, black pillars can tend to become indifferent and stop caring about much of anything. There is a sense of resignation in the black pillar, as though he has just given up on things, maybe life in general as a whole. This can lead to lethargy, laziness, and inaction, such as the laying flat movement of Japan, a black pill movement which is basically a rebellion against doing anything at all. Because black pillars like this simply feel that there's no point in doing anything since nothing they do will matter or create any type of meaningful change in the world. Or maybe it is a kind of peaceful protest. I don't know. I'm not part of that culture because I'm against culture and don't want to be part of any culture, like most black pillars. In fact, many of us who do not lay flat and continue to take action in our lives tend to vote with our feet and opt out of modern society or even leave civilization altogether and seek off-grid living. Black pill men sometimes go into what is called ghost mode, where they just disappear from the community and no one ever hears from them again. Where do they go? No one knows. But you don't have to worry about them because us black pillars love our solitude and are very antisocial types. Maybe even misanthropic, like I said. So don't be surprised if I just disappear one day. And if I do, it probably means I killed myself in the darkest, most hardcore black pill way possible. Shotgun to the dick! Let me know if you know that movie reference below. But anyway, because too much black pill, or a black pill overdose as I've heard it called, can cause debilitating depression and suicidal ideation and drug addiction and such, I don't recommend taking the black pill, at least not entirely. What I mean is that the way in which it could be beneficial, and I would recommend taking the black pill, would be in moderate, modulated doses. For as Jung postulated, it is important for us to be able to examine and deal with our shadow side, and it is important for us to know the truth about reality, even if it is dark, but focusing too much on the darkness will take you down a dark path that you may not want to go on because it may not lead anywhere good. So just be careful when taking the black pill, and what might be better is to take it in small doses relative to larger doses of some of the more positive, confidence-boosting red pill advice. So like 75% red pill and 25% black pill, or 66% red, 50-50 at most. Just remember that yin needs yang for balance when taking your black pills. That concludes this video. Thanks for listening. I hope I mansplained that good enough for you. If you like what you heard, please click the like button. And if you feel you gained some value from this video and would like to give some back, please do so with the PayPal link below, because your support helps fund me doing this work and fight the good fight for men like you.
If you are ready to take the red pill and wake up from the matrix and the matriarchy controlling it and learn everything you need to know about female on male sexism, get your copy of my newly released book called Misandry Exposed. On sale now for a special price that won't last long. So check it out by clicking the link below. And otherwise, you can stay tuned for my next video coming out tomorrow. And otherwise, take care of yourselves, men, because no woman out there is going to.